It's cold out here and I feel lonely. I know the time can move so slowly, and in the distance I hear voices. Are they real or are they in my head? I'm lovesick. You got me lovesick, and I'm lovesick. You got me lovesick, and now I feel alive, feel alive, feel alive, feel alive, and now I feel alive. So many times they try to change me, and every time it drives me crazy. And all the good times we had saved me. Are they real or are they in my head? I'm lovesick. You got me lovesick, and I'm lovesick. You got me lovesick, and now I feel alive, feel alive. Feel alive, feel alive, and now I feel
The Music City, home to a long, illustrious racing history. For many of the drivers today, though, their focus is on the Superspeedway in the IndyCar Open Series. As we welcome you to today's coverage of the IndyCar Open Series Euro SOF race, brought to you by Velocity Online Racing here today. We're happy to have you with us in the broadcast booth. I'm Justin Prince, alongside me is Sébastien Kinder, with Julien Altena producing. He is also the provider of our onboard cams. Track cams are provided by TrackCams22.com. Today, we get set to go in the Music City, or specifically in Lebanon, Tennessee. Nashville, an interesting track to play host to the racing today, as this field looks to do battle for more than 130 laps, 140 specifically. Already qualifying coming to a close moments ago, and that means many of these drivers will look to get to the gears immediately. One split today, 17 drivers, all set to find out how they're able to work for some clean air around this concrete oval. Let's take a look at the starting grid for today's coverage, with Kevin Burrell at the front of the field. Alongside him is Christian Hildegard in the second position. Row number 2, Ricky Paz makes an appearance here today. Alongside him is Jacob Reed, who's been in somewhat regular for this time slot. Ron Borden Jr., one of the lowest iRacing drivers in the 12th spot for car number 5th in qualifying. Alistair Khan was in the top 6 for the qualifying session. Also amongst those in the 23/8 and quicker was Thomas Van Kirk. Anthony De Veras will start in the 8th position. The Frenchman starts along in front of the Finnish driver of Jussi Niemen. Then you have Noah Gilles, your top 10, Sébastien.
And behind them in the rearview mirrors on the 6th row, we'll have Volker Ulrich from Germany, alongside his fellow countryman Fabian Jiroskuski. And behind them on row 7 will be Joseph Harker and Jared Curry. Row 8 will be composed of Kyle Clenworth and Sirius Smith. And I think alone on the final row will be Ty Quilla from Rogue Racing. This will be your starting grid for tonight, Justin.
Look to top to bottom when you were here today. A quick shout out, by the way, to those who have donated a part of this series. Support these broadcasts. That includes Toby Deck. You have Christian Hildegard along with Alan Berteau and Kevin Burrell. Just one pace lap to get us rolling here for tonight. And remember, this race does have significance for those competing in the point standings. Remember, a lot of these drivers competing for the overall championship in the series. It's been close. One of those who normally see in the slot, Alan Berteau, was in the top 5 entering today. But his teammates are here at the very least. Caleb Brashear has led that way for our drivers. Adam Blocker within 10 points. So, pretty close to the overall standings coming into today. The Euro SOF standings. Hildegard is that top driver, following along with 4 points as they get set for their season getting underway for IndyCar Series for its league sessions, starting at the start of August. We're already all set to go for tonight's coverage. Happy with us for tonight's coverage of the IndyCar Open Series Euro SOF. The green flag is out. We're underway from Nashville. First lap complete. Nexus is the team 1-2 to begin things off here this afternoon/evening. And it's the Japanese driver and the Denmark-based driver working together. Paz already to third, fourth, going to Reed to begin things off. Single file just about the entire way to begin.
Yeah, that's very surprising to see them being like this. We did see someone being very far back. I think that's Sirius Smith. That is, in that thing, had a very bad start out there, Justin.
Yeah, outside of that, everyone's kept within range. The 16th already lost 3 seconds to the rest of the field. All this as well as some of these drivers search around. This is a pretty tough track to pass at, isn't it, when it comes to this type of racing with the IndyCar and the Dallara IR18. What are you going to do to get passes done here today?
Well, yeah, it is a pretty tough track because we're not on an asphalt oval. We are on concrete. And by the way, before the stream, we had a conversation about track temps. I think it's like, what it was in practice, it was like 43 degrees Celsius, 42 degrees track temps. So we joked with Julien, like, that's not good. That's not good at all. That's a suffer zone. So what you need to do is just, run cleaner lines. It seems like no one wants to use that bottom lane, so I don't know how you can build those momentum. Just try run the bottom line better than the guy in front. Be very wary of your tools, and also use the hybrid a good use.
All of them being careful, part of this 140 lapper. Keep in mind, estimated fuel range was about 50 to 55 coming into today. It's a guaranteed 2-stopper for the conversation later. So it becomes the huge question. Do you push the tempo, try and burn fuel, or do you save? Right now, Hildegard is making the chance for the race lead, changing up with Burrell. He just took over the top spot on the pylon. We follow along with Gilles amongst those in the second pack that's already lost touch to the leaders.
Oh, that's bad news if they for this pack right there, Justin, because if they're already losing ground, that will be tougher and tougher to get by, to get back to these guys up front. As for your question about fuel, you don't really need to save because you can't really make it one stop, and you already have quite a large window per se. So it will be very interesting to see what these guys will have in plan.
Let's give or take 10 laps of range, by the way, you're seeing on those pit windows. So overall, just depends on how light you want the car to be towards the end, how pressure tires you want at the very end of this one. Keep it on that. We've already had 2 tenths of fall off already. We're not even 10 laps in. Look at Ricky Paz trying to break up the swap draft. The votive machine wasn't able to do it this time. He is a driver that's picked up some Team USA Scout appearances. He's also been racing a variety of different series, trying to pick up more and more experience, just looking for a way to go here. Now he's looking for second. Can he get alongside the 8? Yes, but the problem is, no draft yet, but he will get the run.
Yes, bottom lane probably used the hybrid there, Justin, in both Nexus cars. I think Kevin didn't want to leave his teammate up to dry, so he stayed up there.
Let's a new race to get through, and Reed looking to do the same possibly. Let's watch for the back straightaway if there's a massive boost this time. No. So Reed shuffles back to 4th, and Ricky Paz is up at the point for the first time this year.
Yeah, good thing to have in mind there, Justin, is that we are on a mix of a short track and speedway. We have pretty much in shape the standard cookie cutter that we see in the US, but it is in concrete and it's a bit shorter. So it's kind of like a mix of Dover and Charlotte, if you for a comparison. This track is.
Yeah, it makes for an interesting track dynamic as a whole, you'd have to think here when it comes to this facility. Remember, this track originally opened up back in the early 2000s. And originally, the concept for this place was to be a mega super speedway type of complex with giant grandstands, short track on the back straightaway replicating the Nashville Fairgrounds, all the bobs and whistles. But instead, it took until a track closure and then a reopening in the early 2020s for the original goal of the Cup Series for NASCAR to come here, and eventually IndyCar coming here as well for its season finale in recent years after originally being on the street course. Now, as you can see, the next machine's able to zip on by to go 1-2. Meanwhile, it's been an interesting history for this track. It's provided some really interesting IndyCar races here at this facility, though, to add some different facility types compared to the Milwaukee Miles and the others in the oval circuits.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, the IRL actually raced there in the early 2000s.
Yeah, people don't realize that it's so far back in the day. Kyle Glenworth, again, looking to be a biggest mover. Doesn't seem to have qualifying trim together, but seems to have race pace together, you can say at least.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very good racer. I mean, Clendy, we see him all the Saturdays in the Velocity Online Racing IndyCar iRacing series, and he is one of the biggest menaces out there. We have to team up to take him down on ovals. So good, he is so good. So I'm not worried about him that he'll find something to work. Although he's in that second pack. No, they actually rejoined. So he has time to move on. We only did like 17 laps, Justin. This is a very long race.
Should say, by the way, in terms of Clendy, if you look at your pylon, his two teammates, Ty Quilla and Jarrett Curry, they are not looking great right here on the pace. They're running a 10th off the mark of the lead group, and they've lost the lead group by 4 seconds. Big difference for the Rogue Racing camp.
Oh, this is the moment, Justin, where you just do your life and you just pray that a caution comes.
This seems to be the type of track where that might be a little bit more easier said than done. Here's Thomas Van Kirk, by the way. Right now running in the 6th position. He's got an iRating at 28.01, so a great opportunity here when you think about it if you want to talk about how do I build my iRating to be able to race here consistently in top split competition. Well, You have to be able to race in these types of events and capitalize when you have a 3,511 like tonight. Right now, start 7th in 6th, you were saying?
No, Julien made, again, the unfunny joke. So I'm going to spare all of the viewers the pain.
Oh, you're talking about 6-7. I'll give the pain instead. But at the very least, I don't think that's the concern at all right now. You're 13. You're just thinking how to turn that 6-7 into a top of the board number 1 position. That being said, right now, some of the drivers are splintering. Kyle Glenworth makes the move back for 9th. Gotta find a way quickly. Keep back up to Noah Gill because the gap is starting to separate with some of the swapping back there involving one of the Frenchmen.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. I think we have like some fall. So tires do matter here, Justin. Again, concrete racetrack, so it's kind of brutal for these Firestone tires. So there's another dimension that now we're answering for this race. Is tire management, tire heat. And again, if you're these guys in the lead pack, the main thing is to stay with the leaders in sight, stay in their pack, because if not, oh boy.
Gotta figure a way.
Yeah, 3/10 fall.
Way to go. Yeah. Stabilized there for now, but keep an eye on that for later in the run. It's going to be interesting how much the fall off actually gets. Good time to remind everyone that coverage of the IndyCar Open Series Euro SOF race is brought to you by Velocity Online Racing for the iRacing IndyCar community. Please consider supporting our fundraiser and donate on code FUNME. Again, important to support. Keep an eye on your Euro SOF racing. For those just tuning in, next is still in the 1-2. Votive in 3rd. You have Reed in the 4th position in his yellow machine. You have Kahn in the top 5 as things stand. What is turning out to be a tough track to get anything going unless it's for the race lead. Borden right now at the tail end of the mainly connected top 7. This 12 has been running lower than everybody else, but it hasn't really mattered too much because there hasn't been anywhere to take any runs so far.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting like this single file racing for now. It's very calm. I don't know, like these guys really just cannot try anything because it will kill the tires or anything else. But I'm now looking more forward to the pit stops, and pit stops will be critical, Justin.
It's going to get interesting, absolutely. Especially with how much they have to make sure they are on the brakes for that pit entry decline. Remember, there is, technically speaking, an access road, though, in 3 and 4. We'll see what happens here for these drivers if some elect that, or they take the NASCAR entry, if you will, where you have that blue cone that's set up, or the L cone, rather, set up actually on the grass, if you will, for the front straightaway. Keep an eye on that. Might have to go the safe way for these cars still. That being said here for these drivers right now, obviously one of the major things you might be thinking about is playing around with the fuel map to save a little bit of gas that way. Speeds are under 200 miles an hour for much of the field. Notice one thing for Borden Jr. and his pace. He's been a little quieter sounding. Maybe, I guess, with the pole, he is running up the 6th gear, mind you. It's basically a stayed there. Some of the drivers, like Kahn and the Nexus machines, are using 5th.
That's very interesting. So 6 is when you pretty much just want to stay behind and save fuel. Now, we mentioned that you don't really... Well, technically, if you're not even trying to do the full tank, you can still save fuel. That will shorten your pit stop. Because, reminder, 70 liters for these on the fuel cells, how big those fuel cells are in this IR18. If you save a bit of fuel but still pit a bit early, you're not putting as much fuel as you would if you went full sunk. So I guess that's something that Borden can try. Also, you know, it doesn't need really to attack, so I guess that's some... Oh! That's a cheeky move around the outside, so I guess you can use that outside the lane here, Justin.
Yeah, a little bit of cheekiness there, maybe. As Borden Jr. jumps up a spot for the first time. Kyle Glenworth, he's one of the fastest cars in this pack. Look at this on the outside. Looking to take some spots away. He's just zipping by easily, it seems. Kyle Glenworth picking up the tempo. This is similar to what we've seen with California that comes to mind, maybe. Because Kyle Glenworth also did the same thing, charging from the middle to the back of the pack. The conversation, it felt like there. Seems to find a way to save the tires a little bit better than most, to have speed of up to a tenth quicker at this point of the run now. Again.
I wasn't expecting things to get a bit heated in the middle of this stint here, Justin, as now we have more cars using that top lane, getting that momentum in the straight lines that we see Kirk and Borden right now. One thing I was looking for when you talked about pit entries, and that's right, because iRacing doesn't police, because normally in real life, they will take the pit entry in turn 3. Here, iRacing doesn't police that. You can enter the pits in 4. It's a high risk, though, because I don't think in an IndyCar it's very safe to pit off of 4.
All that's to say, gotta make sure you don't get rear-ended too on the pit entry.
Yes!
Kyle Glenworth, biggest mover, up 10. He's one of a total of 5 drivers who have made passes, give or take. 6 if you include the possibility of Con trying to make a move here. Van Kirk able to keep it a +1 at the very least for his sake, as Con gets shuffled back. All of a sudden the 5 is starting to lose ground. He was one of those that was using 5th gear a fair bit like the Nexus drivers, and he's getting freight trained.
That's the worst kind of feeling on an oval, is that you're getting overtaken and you cannot use your preferred lane and you have more people passing you and you can do nothing. That's one of the more frustrating things on ovals.
That choo-choo train effect opens things up once again for a few drivers to shuffle the way ahead. Bundy, meanwhile, still one of those using the higher line more than everybody else right now. He's one of the few keeping clean air, using the drop for the straightaways, looking like he's going to go for 4th here. He's alongside Reed and continuing to pull these drivers back and back down the pylon.
I mean, might as well. No one's blocking out of sideline, so might as well use it and get the clean air. And you get some juicy momentum at the exit of the straights. So that's, yeah, I mean, Glenworth might as well keep going.
Might as well keep finding a way to make more and more passes, absolutely. Bundy stays stable up in the top 4 as this all goes on. He's 23rd in the overall standings coming into today. But the wild thing is, he's got an interesting situation for the points, because remember, there's road and there's oval when it comes to series that calculates in. He's got a 7,000 on oval, but he's Division 3 with how things go, because on the road Formula car, he's got a 2,000. So in actuality, he's essentially one of your best drivers in the Division 3 point standings. Another good example to talk about is Division 7. Casey Pavlones, we've seen appear in some of the races through SOF. He is in the top 6 overall, but he is the by far points leader in one of the lowest divisions because he has a lower I rating with the road side.
Yeah, that's how iRacing works.
I mean, it's a complicated matter, but it's interesting how that works when you have 2 different types of styles of racing in a championship, but only one of them gets determined for what division you are, for a title that you can get for your certificate after the race, or after the season.
Indeed, as we're getting close to that pit we enter the pit window here, Justin. So get ready to see some people peel off. So I really don't know if they're going to pit it off of free, like some usually do in IndyCar leagues, or they will try to do that pit off of 4.
We'll find out in a few moments the true answer. No calls on the radio. The only major conversation this entire race the drivers have had is good luck, have fun with their keyboards. Everything else has been straight on, fully focused on just driving around the racetrack. Ricky Paz said he was bored, and we have contact with the wall.
Whoa.
Noah Gilles is the opposite of bored.
Oh, and I think, yeah, the steering, something's wrong with the steering. I think the steering is bent here, Justin. Look at how the wheel was. Oh, let's see on the back straight, see if we see that car crashing. Look at this. Oh, this is the worst kind of feeling. We have the steering wheel slightly bent to the outside wall. Not ideal.
Yep, that car is going to have to come down
evil.
Pit road. It makes it. And avoids the yellow cone in the grass. Noah Gilles, first casualty of the race. Snap loose in the middle of the corner. Weight jacker, possibly?
Yeah, that's maybe like too much weight jacker. Or, yeah. The car snaps once he tries to save it, and it's too late. So maybe too much weight jacker. Yeah. Very high, too. Well, that's unfortunate.
And he's out of the race as our first driver with incident. By the way, pit stop underway for the 10. Fabian just opened up the window for scheduled stops, though he was towards the rear end of the field. The blue machine cutting every single pit box.
I mean, yeah, pitting 48, 47, that's like if you want to split all 3 runs equally. So that's where you usually want to pit. So I'm very curious how the undercut is going to pan out here, Justin. Normally, maybe you can get a bit of time. We'll see about that.
Cyrus also pit this time through Smith, the driver from the Antarctica Club. Part of those down, as well as Jarrett Curry this time. Ty Kua will come down this time by. So, few drivers right at 50 or just a lap or two before 50. There's the peel off, and the answer is definitely turn 4 for the safety for a majority of the drivers. This is why you practice. You find the best way to gain speed. It's a much quicker compared to the access road. Ron Borden Jr. does not seem to have the memo. He is on the brakes by turn 3. I think Ron Borden just backed up his corner and lost himself about 3 seconds. Look at that.
Ulrich, going to the limit here.
And
might as well. You're still racing ground here, Justin, so might as well.
When you're Ron Borden, this is too conservative. It almost looked like he was going to take turn 3, but you're just bleeding spots with that early of a break.
Yeah, he lost at least 5 or 6 seconds here. It looked like he wanted to use the entry into free. Yeah, iRacing, please add an open wheel layout so you force heading off of free.
Hildegard came down this time. Burrell the previous time by. The Nexus machines that are running 5th gear much of the way are down. That's currently seen Ricky Paz, your leader. Clundy, Reed, Hahn, amongst those in the top 4. Top 3, should say. That changes here with Clundy just taking the peel down himself. Quick left-hander. And down. Hildegard still taking his service. Burrell is currently the first of anybody who's pit. Let's find out if that sticks, though. Hildegard on the gas. We keep with his teammate at the very least. Let's find out. He looked like he picked up actually a fair bit of time here, despite having near equal pit stop deltas. He comes out about a quarter of a track ahead, if not a half a straightaway, rather.
That's big.
Yeah, I'm curious how he got the jump. Has to be entry for that to gain so much.
He really up to my. Oh, yeah. Those are some slow entries right there.
Ricky Paz, Amonso's in with Con. That leaves Reed as the only driver going for the very far out strategy. Able to save about a couple laps further than the guesstimates that we had coming into this one. And now we'll come in to close the first window. By the way, Reed just nearly crashed into pit road as the rest of the drivers take service. He cut through the grass across the Ford logos, but made the cone. Did he get speeding? Yes, he did.
Not too bad. That's a fine, good sir.
Way too much.
Yeah.
He cooked it.
That's what the youngsters these days would call overcooking.
Well, he just said rip in the text chat. So Reed knows this is a 40-second stop and hold. His race just up in flame. Morel and Paz, the first battle, by the way, with where they cycled. Paz has the fresher tires, though. Uses them to take over second. Nexus 1-3 now on the racetrack. If you're enjoying Velocity Online Racing's coverage today, please press the like and subscribe buttons to help us in the YouTube algorithm. Let's check in on Clendy. He's looking to try and move up maybe to the top 3 next. He stayed in 4th after his hard charge in the middle 3rd of the run previously. Yeah,
now he's in the perfect spot, hunting and only a second behind the leader. So that's where you need to be. That in the top 5 during this kind of races.
23 laps led so far for Hildegard, 28 for Burrell, 7 for Paz, 1 for Jacob Reed in terms of your led lap counter so far today. Already coming up to 80 laps to go. This race swiftly moving by. Here's the biggest challenge, though, for your leaders. Guess what's up the racetrack by half a straightaway? Lap traffic. Dirty air for the leader for the first time coming up.
Yeah, and we see these guys, and these guys, they are...
Well, goodbye, I guess you can say to Sébastien. So we are on our own. That being said, Noah Gill has returned to the race for the time being. Also becomes the question, do the fresher tires of Paz help close the gap? It's 3 laps difference between first and second on their Firestones. Sébastien, you're back.
I'm back. I thank the laws of connection. Thank God I'm not on the racetrack, or else I would have been very mad.
Yes, you definitely did. Back to the question mark. You have traffic coming up in Niemen and Harker that's going to be dealt with.
Yeah.
Some of the other drivers like Thomas Van Kirk punching their weight ahead. We're going to see the big true test coming up, though. The leader is right up to the first 3 lappers of the day.
And these guys, they can fight the leaders to stay in the lead lap. Because, reminder, this is IndyCar. We don't have lucky laps. We only have waiver rounds. So you want to stay in that lead lap. Although, looking at how things are going on for them, I guess they're like, yeah, I doubt we'll get cautions at this rate. So I won't even bother the leaders.
Right now, you see how much Hildegard is just using the traffic to open things up on the inside. Much of the traffic's into the outside here. Ricky Paz needs to close up 6 to 7 tenths, get up to the race leader. Easier said than done. By the way, a technical issue for one of the Frenchmen. The 15 is out of the race, and the Deverias is out after running as high as the middle of the field. So we have our first DNF officially, it seems, for this race, unless they're able to rejoin and salvage points. That in mind, look at Paz struggling with traffic. Burrell now gets boxed in, has to back off.
Yeah, if that came a bit earlier, I guess Burrell could have made a launch in turn 1. But, well, there's that launch.
Yep, you see that send. Gavin Burrell able to send it in. Ricky Paz saying, yes, you can have it. And Paz recognizing the speed is there for the Nexus machines to stay 1-2. Almost at the halfway point of today's coverage, Velocity Online Racing, to remind you, delivers professional iRacing broadcasts providing an authentic race day experience. Our custom IndyCar style overlay creates a clean and immersive viewing experience reminiscent of professional motorsports broadcast. Streamed in 1440p, 60 FPS production with expert commentary, Velocity Online Racing gives your series the presentation it deserves. Broadcast packages start for as low as €50 per hour. Contact Velocity Online Racing at gmail.com to learn more. Right now we are coming up to halfway. Next time by, look at the run for Paz.
Whoa.
Better yet from Clendy. They both charged hard.
Yeah, Clendy, like if we were at Fontana, he would have ripped that top lane getting around the outside, but that doesn't work here. The run he had. So you can have these runs out there, Justin, but these guys, they're still, well, I guess the first thing was kind of like the first round of boxing. You're just observing each other, and as laps will go down, Justin, they'll get more and more aggressive.
New race leader, though, is Paz. First time today. Nexus not in control of the race lead. Essentially, in terms of full command, I mean, Kyle Clunworth right behind him as well. So Paz showcasing some pace here. Looking to get the double-digit lead laps club. By the way, an interesting trend here. 2 other lap cars for the leaders to deal with, and then it will require a lot more fall off. Just about every car outside of that is in this train, including 17th Noah Gill, that have all found their way interconnected essentially in a part of the same half of the racetrack.
It shows how tame these guys are, and really how they master this car and just say, okay, I don't need to overdo it because I know I'm in the right train.
Yeah, this has provided some solid drives for some of the drivers, like Khan, for example, one of those at the 4,000 iRacing Club, going to make this appearance here today. He's been somewhat around this position most of the time. He dropped back behind Borden Jr., remember, at one point during the back half of the first stint. This part of the stint, maintaining in 5th. Right now, you have to wonder who's going to be the next to try and make a move here, because all of these drivers are running in the same ballpark. 24.5 for just about everybody right now. Van Kirk is the first driver trying to attempt to pass Borden, giving some space.
I honestly, I mean, I'm not in these guys' head. I mean, I would just stay calm and probably just hang around as long as I'm in this pack. I would be good. But then again, I'm not a very good driver, so that's probably not the way to do. But if you want really that track position, maybe Hildegard or Burrell will try some offense in 10 laps.
Might be trying to pace themselves before we get towards that final pit stop window. Absolutely. Still have coming up to 62 laps to go after all. Van Kirk, he's now under the pressure to try and get this move done. Borden Jr. flipping back behind both of them now. And the 13 is now the 5th place machine. Again, very much punching above their I rating here today. Van Kirk's been impressing, one of those from the U.S. looking to make the start today. Ocon will get the spot back behind him possibly. So all this is to say, what are you thinking about at this point of the run here if you're in the cockpit in what's been a choo-choo train style race, Sébastien?
Well, if I was in one of these cars in the top 7, I'm like, okay, I'm good right now. I just need not to mess up the next pit. This is the issue, because if you get that way too much in your head, maybe you can be too cautious and you're losing the lead pack. But really, in my head right now, it's not that I should maybe try to move. Right, the next thing is I need to make that last pit to the perfection, so that I do not lose that pack and have a chance to fight for a win here.
As this is all going on, a reminder that track cameras you just seen there are brought to you by TrackCams22.com. They're on boards, created by Julien Altena. There's also our producer this evening. Give him a hello when you see him. The work he's been putting in on the racetrack here today. Bit of technical issues for Calm popping up, but the pink machine at Kyle Clenworth still using the higher groove, not as high as earlier, but is still trying to get a lane up on Ricky Paz to find that clean air on the front nose as we are almost at the green light on fuel.
And we'll be entering in the, I guess right now, since some of these guys made 57 laps on that fuel tank, we are now entering the final pit window here, Justin. So, I would like to pit Impact. I wouldn't want to pit alone here.
Yeah, that'd be a concern to me too, possibly, because it seems as though the pull is there when you're in the pack. Although we've seen how powerful it seems in a couple cases the overcut is once you get the heat in the tires. So there's a couple different ways this really could go possibly. But it all depends on who's most comfortable, and it's pretty clear there is an intent to offset. Still, you have to be also nervous about the 5, who continuously is having technical issues with one of the highest pings in the field.
Yeah, you want to, and the IndyCar is well known for having a lot of netcode, Justin. So this is where you need to take your precaution. I am well versed in the hearts of netcode.
Gotta be careful. Remember, you can lose a couple laps while pitting under green too. That is a risk you could potentially get if you get caution.
And look at that, Justin. Like the three that kind of lost us back after the pit phase, they're now back in the pack as they were 4 seconds, like 20 laps ago.
Yeah, this is interesting how much this has gone for a couple of these teams here. Some side-by-side popping up there again. Hildegard shuffles back Van Kirk. Orton Jr. is trying to pass by Calm. Passes by him continuously. Trading around pools, chairs on the pool deck, if you will, in the back half of this field. Borden Jr., despite the conversation of losing a lot of time possibly, has been able to keep himself in the hunt here. He, mind you, has some of the oldest tires in this pack.
And now I'm wondering, because that means if those 3 guys back there manage to cut back the lead of the lead pack by 3 seconds, how much, you can pretty much bet that these guys up front, they're not pushing whatsoever, and behind they do not want to make passes. So they must have been saving a lot of fuel, so maybe expect like some very late pits, Justin. Maybe pitting in lap 105 or something like that.
Yeah, with the green light open to be surely good on the gas. Find out who's really able to make the call to go for an aggressive undercut. Looks like most of the field trying to go as long as possible as expected here. Make sure they have a lighter race car to go faster later in the race. Paz has now led almost 30 laps here. Second most laps led in the day this time by. So for Paz, he's been able to maintain this clean air. It's going to be about execution here for the votive machine in a few minutes, though. It's worth noting, by the way, that the 15, Anthony Taveras, did return back to the race. Frenchman, 7 laps down, is racing Noah Gilles, so he doesn't lose an extra 30 or 40 I rating. Right now, he's a minus 49 here about your I rating.
Ouch!
Minus 87 for Noah Gilles as the 9 car.
Ouch! That hurts. That physically hurts me.
Minus 49 for Parker. Minus 109 for Jacob Reed with his penalty.
Oh, yuck.
So, for Reed, that will put him to under 2,300, 6,300 by the way. Biggest gainers for I rating as we hold will be an 85 for Ricky Paz because he's only got a 4,000 for the oval side. Then 37 for Burrell, 54 for Hildegard. He's got a 39.45. That will put him 1 point shy of the 4,000 club. Do you care about your I rating?
I don't do official. I don't do a lot of officials. So
no.
No. Ooh, bit of shenanigans back there.
Pit stop coming up, actually. It's the 10 machine running in 12. Roszkowski is coming down once again. Fabian opening the window early and cutting every single pit box. This is, again,
okay.
I kind of understand why he's doing this, but it's not Martinsville. It's Nashville.
Yeah, personal pet peeve of mine that should be penalized by iRacing. Like, I don't like people just cutting all their boxes like that. I'm glad you have legs out there that are enforcing rules like, yeah, you can only cut 3 boxes because, oh my god, that doesn't look good on broadcast at all.
Right now, we're coming up to 42 to go. Harker is the next wave in. And again, one of those who had an early pit stop originally also. But the rest of the main drivers, the main pack, you're talking about your top 10 choo-choo train, are almost at that bell lap for when they are expected to peel down. The Nexus machines, still running 3 and 4. Remember, they like to offset by a lap on their calls. They'll keep stretching. But then about 46, 47 laps into the fuel this time through. And they're starting to build a buffer on both the 12 and the 5 as well as the 13 here. Pit stop. Jarrett Curry coming up. Curry back into this main group, running 8th after being as much as 4 seconds out of the main group. There goes the 6 for scheduled service.
I mean, I guess that was pretty much optimized because of how fast he was going in there. Good on him. I think he slowed down enough, Justin.
Smith, Ulrich, Borden Jr. all in the box in. Ty Kula. This is going to be a busy pit road on the next wave. This upcoming time by. Lap traffic being reached by the leaders at the same time. And this time, no major mistakes except for the
Glendy.
17.
Oh!
That was not Glendy, that was Ulrich, and he nearly sped.
It's black flag. Wow, that wasn't a black flag. Good on him.
Lucky. Gained maybe half second to a second there.
Because iRacing is more strict on those black flags.
Yeah, especially since the patch, yeah.
Yeah, since the patch, yeah. Because... oh, boy. Oh, good.
Doesn't wreck the car. Keeps going. Niemann finished up his service just now, by the way. Under 37 to go. Main group hasn't made the calls. We have contact for second.
Oh boy.
Burrell just traded paint with Kyle Clunworth in live action. The 1, gonna have to be careful. Same for Burrell in the 4, so you don't get side pod or floor damage.
Oh, and floor damage is absolutely the worst on this car. You lose 5 or 6 clicks in the straight line, and you don't corner as well, and you're just a passenger.
So Clendy getting attacked. Thomas Van Kirk coming down right there. A little bit of a bump.
Bit of a right side romance there.
It's from Burrell.
Ooh.
Here we go.
And this is where you have a spike in a heart rate. If we had these guys' heart rate, you would have noticed a spike from like 100 BPM to 140.
Burrell, by the way, taking over the spot. Took it on the high side out of 4. And now, up to second. Clundy saying, okay, I've got a pit. He's got a car behind him, though. It's Hildgaard. Near contact for the 8. Had to get on the brakes, and Clundy missed the pits from it.
And that's
Just,
probably...
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, that's not a safe pit entrance because he managed to enter the pits before the cones, but yeah, and that's why, yeah. Saying if you're watching
Caution.
this, oh boy,
Caution is out, and it's Kevin Burrell live action. This was new with the caution, and
you're Clenworth, you're angry with yourself because if you stayed out, he would have been in the lead lap for pitting.
watch the 10 coming up. It's this lap.
Oh! Did he get rear-ended?
Absolutely. Missed pit call likely there.
Yeah, again, I don't have the iRacing logs on my... Like, did Kevin call out his pit?
He did have a lot of comments on the radio saying you need to pay attention for the calls. And this is a big one because this pins most of the field at least in a wave around situation.
And this is why you always need to stay alert to what people say. Usually, in real life, you'd have the spotter, okay, the car in front of you is spinning because the spotters usually talk to each other. On this time, yeah, it's on the drivers to pay attention. And yeah, this is kind of bad for the cars a lap down. Because you're going to get like these guys with fresh tires.
Yeah, this is an intriguing one because this comes out with Paz, Hildegard, Kahn, Clendy as the only drivers on the lead lap.
Oh wow,
Tyquila and everybody else, unless something changes here, are going to be 1 or 2 laps down. We'll see if we get things officialized to get people back on the same lead lap in some of these cases because there are a few that are in range for a wave around.
Yeah, so you're going to see when the pace car will cross the line and turn off the lights, you're going to have all these guys turning up the watts and going as quickly as possible to catch back to the queue.
Let's confirm what this is looking like on the lead lappers. Yes, Taikua, Jarrett Curry, Ulrich, Van Kirk, and Ron Borden get lucky they did pass the leader, or at least get to the 1 lap down mark. At the time, the caution flag. Jacob Reed is also one of the waves, but it's still a lap down. Niemann took service and is 2 laps down. So Ricky Paz, Christian Hildegard are set up 1-2. Kahn is behind, and then it's lap cars from there.
Wow, Juszkiewski managed to repair his car.
Burrell still on the tow truck, I believe.
That's probably game over for him.
least for a good finish. At minimum, is a -91 on the iRating front.
Yeah.
Ricky Paz is ready to control things here. We have 30 laps to go for today's coverage of the IndyCar Open Series Euro SOF from Nashville. Paz is off and away. Hildegard trying to find a way to get by him to reach.
Oh, someone's raking!
Oh no, it's the back of the field. No caution for the 17. We stay green.
Because that on the caution.
So Ulrich is on the tow truck. Thomas having to take a penalty. Thomas Van Kirk. Jarrett Curry also broke a wing.
What on earth happened during that restart?
Back of the field imploded. That's what happened, it seems. Hildegard going for the race lead, though. Looking to the outside. Paz lets him have it. But can he make the move? The 8. Trying to set up the cut again. Will reset. Going back outside. Nearly hit him.
That was close. Too close for comfort there.
Ricky Paz on the radio saying, please do not hit me. I mean, yeah.
Duh.
They'll nearly hit this time to 3, though. It's Votive versus Nexus. Hildegard has the outside for the pole.
Here comes Khan, Justin.
Oh, there's the hit. They touched and they both did not crash.
That's not going to end well, Justin. Oh boy.
Paz got the edge for a moment. Does that last, though? Looks like the answer is gonna slam the door. No, still side by side.
And Khan must be absolutely loving this. Like, please, yeah, I'm going to stay behind you guys and just wait till you wreck or you do something stupid.
George just confirmed that it was a checkup that collected some of those drivers at the back of the field. Again, we stayed green. Right now, it's the 7 defending. Hildegard trying the inside on the apron.
Yeah, apron's allowed. This is not league racing here.
There's the move for the Nexus car. So it's Christian Hildegard, the top driver of the European SOFs this season, up at the front of the field looking for an oval win for the Nexus program that's had to fight all season so far.
We saw that you can get some pretty big momentum out of these even number corners. So Paz, he's trying to do kind of like what Hildegard did, getting the higher lane and get a better run outside of 2 and 4.
Trying to build up the run again. This time Paz equalizes out down off of 4. We take away the run here for 2. He's there outside at a 1. No, he went up the track, couldn't keep it.
That's getting bit by Hildegard, kind of moving up here. Hildegard kind of running an IRL-esque line, just hogging the bottom.
But you kind of have to, as we've seen. That seems to be the place to be for this short run. Outside, we've seen Clundy use on a long run. Paz again got there at least to the tires, but can't stick it.
It seems he gets loose a bit. I don't know, he just strengthens the car or something, and that makes him lose so much time in 1 and 2.
And all you can say here in the case of Paz is he's trying. He's got to make it stick into the apex. This time he's made it stick, but didn't keep the speed.
Yeah, that's crazy because this is like now watching an early 2000s IndyCar race. You're watching Dan Weldon taking on I don't know. I mean Sam Ornish. Yeah, Sam Ornish. Yeah.
Look at this, Paz again to the outside. Well, this time stick. He's tried this a couple times now. Answer is no. We'll try this again.
Keep in mind.
As they all sort themselves out, here's what happened on the restart, by the way. At least 3 cars collected Let's see what sparked this from Borden.
Oh, very... Oh!
But that would explain why he got the penalty for the blue machine, by the way, with the pass. Remember, you
Accordion effects.
Yep. Get a penalty if you pass to the left, even if you say have the driver in front of you wreck. That's why that we've seen Thomas Van Kirk do a drive-through. And even with the contact still is running 8th, would still be a positive I rating. And positive for his points. That being said here, we coming up to 16 to go next time. Bye! That was a little bit of air in between the two. Ricky Paz not happy. Now he's trying the inside. Gets blocked instead. Now he's to the yellow line. He thinks that contact was very physical. Instead, it's Paz going for the send. Now it's Hildegard with the boost back on the outside.
He's still there. He's still there. Oh boy. This is not going to end well, Justin. This is not going to end well. I don't see this ending cleanly.
Paz gets
contact. The side draft.
I don't know if you call that side draft when your tire is on the side pod, but here we are. 15 to go at the stripe. And there's contact!
It was bound to happen. It was bound to happen.
The top two wreck. Paz and Hildegard over the top. Instead, it's Alistair Kahn in the race lead.
It's just 15 laps to go. We see that you can get the run with these cars. Sometimes, and because they were 3 seconds ahead, now they're getting these guys back up there. And yeah, just that's tough because Paz has a meatball. I don't know. Yeah, Hildegard also must have a damaged car, so
And
right
over top the cockpit. And tempers are flaring, let's say that. A little bit of air, but there was likely going to be some contact eventually.
Yeah, they were bound to. They were bound to with how close they were getting, and usually this is the time where Justin is a little voice in your head like, should I maybe lift off a bit or just give a bit of space because by fighting too much for like a win, look where they are now.
Yeah, Hildegard is down pit road. No stop for Paz, despite he's gonna have to come down here.
Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. You don't.
He's definitely trying to make sure he scores ahead of Hildegard here. But Alistair Kahn is the bigger focus. He is 43rd in the overall standings. He is one of those in Division 1 points. He is looking for his first win and his second top 5 in any race he's competed in so far this season. So the 5, once the 7 comes down for its expected service here, has a big opportunity, but he's going to have to hold back likely the Rogue Racing cars. Ty Quill is now ahead of Kyle Clenworth behind him.
Ooh. This has blown this right out of the gate because now anyone in the top 5, well, technically top 4 when Paz will pit because there's no way this car goes up to race speed.
Nope.
Yeah, please, just repair the car, please.
I don't know if he's going to come back out with that type of damage, though.
Negative. Well,
Thomas Van Kirk also coming down as get ready for the restart here. Kahn looking for a first this season. Can he do it?
So this is a very interesting tidbit. Kahn observed these two guys duking it out. So maybe he can use he saw some things that maybe this works better for defense, and he can use them now in defending against Quilla and Clenworth.
Mind you, remember there's some upcoming broadcasts when it comes to VOR. We have Indy NXT also in Nashville this weekend. That will be again in Central European Summertime is your time zone, but 9 p.m. Then the Indy Euro Series for a couple weeks gets kicked off, a part of the racing action here. We'll keep an eye on that action on the 22nd and the 29th. That'll be Portimao and Mugello for back-to-back weeks for the Indy Euro Series. As mentioned, 4 is in competition. Velocity Online Racing for its league action has its race day with NXT at about 5 p.m. and then 3 hours later, it's ICS competition. Part of some of the upcoming action when it comes to this series. But today, we have an 11-lap dash to decide who wins an SOF race. Khan, Quilla, along with Clendy in the top 3. Right now, the front of the field getting feisty already. Race lead possibly on for the 3. Try the outside for a moment. Needs to find a way to close this gap. Here's the run. It's the 3 to the outside. Tyquilla looking to rip away Khan's dream. Instead, it's racing. 1-2 possibly here.
Seems like that number 3 car can hold the outside a bit better than the number 7 we saw earlier.
When he couldn't close the deal for that 1-2 for the team, but he'll try the inside instead. Look at the block though.
2 for 1 special.
Kyle Clunworth, with the help of his teammate, takes the race lead under 10 laps to go. Here comes the move from his teammate.
To think this team was struggling at the beginning of the race, Justin.
What a battle. It's draft swap time. For Ty, he's one of the top drivers, the .7th, looking for his first win. Bundy, he's looking for his second of the season in this series.
Yeah, they're going to tag team the rest of the bunch. If you're Khan and Borden, you need to interrupt their swap drafting. You don't want these two to work together.
Khan wants to go. Clendy wants to swap. Under 7 to go. Ricky Paz disqualified. Tried to run the track with a destroyed race car. He got disqualified from trying to drive with the meatball flag after a drive-through on pit road. Tyquilla drives his way. Back up to the lead, near contact with Khan, nearly phasing through.
He's blinking.
He's been all race.
Well, here he goes.
Oh, that's dangerous. He's blinking while making a pass. He nearly wrecked into Clendy with it.
That was a naughty block from Clenworth.
Khan is lucky, very lucky. Clendy is 2. 5 to go. 4 cars now under a blanket. Ron Borden Jr. looking for an upset, possibly.
Oh, and Quilla is... Khan is just boxed in by those road racing cars.
Oh, he touched him. The 5 touched the 3. Khan not making friends up here, coming to 4 to go. He just backed out with the blinking and let Ron Borden Jr. to 3rd.
Oh, they're using 3 lanes? Are you kidding me?
Tires are older, yes, but they're definitely putting on a good battle. Coming to 3 to go. Clendy looking to clear his teammate. Not going to do it yet. Borden Jr., no place to take it.
And these 2 guys, they're taking the 2 bottom lanes. So they're making it harder for the cars behind to get any sort of run.
They're trying to set up a drag race opportunity with the way things are looking here. Unless Borden Jr. breaks the status quo, he's got to run. 2 to go. He tried to poke out. The run died. Still side by side in a 1 and 2. Khan's now going back on the gas. Borden Jr. gets blocked by Tyquilla instead. Quilla gets himself clear for the race lead, coming to the white flag. Look at Clendy again. He looks for the run. 1 lap to go from Nashville. Borden Jr. looking for a place to go 3 wide on the outside. Ty Quillen can't block all the lanes. It's Borden Jr. He's now looking for the big win. He's up on the high side. The road cars clear
Watch
zone.
out for the runs he's going to get.
Side by side for the win.
Oh.
Who got it? Think it was Ty. It was by 9 1/1000ths.
Oh boy.
Ty Quilla first win in this series this season, and he's got himself a conversation to have. He's in the conversation now for the top spots for the championship overall.
So I think, so top 4 are separated by 91 thousandths of a second.
All the lead lappers, look at this. Kyle Clenworth trying to make sure that's a team 1-2 or either could win. Borden Jr., if there was some way he could have kept the outside here, would have made this interesting.
Yeah, but it was tough getting running that outside lane. I don't know how he managed to make it work in 1 and 2 though, and that almost was disaster. I think the bottom car Clenworth almost got clipped by Quilla. Kyle, I mean.
And it comes down to the matter of inches. Clendy trying to run below on the apron. The 2 get to celebrate together and destroy the race cars. This.
That little grass running, that's probably what costed him the win.
Possibly. So the celebration is on for the 2 teammates after one of the closest finishes of the season. It's Ty Quilla, just by the matter of inches, who brings the 3 to virtual victory lane. And remember, was in the conversation earlier, he went from being 4 seconds back to being in the lead pack to being up at the front with the way the cautions fell and taking advantage of the attrition with some of the top drivers today to come out on top today. What a finish.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess, this was more an IRL style of race at the end, where you had the bottom lanes preventing and the top lanes maybe needing a bit of help. And again, that finish with the top 4 in 91 thousandths of a second close together. That was peak IRL there.
Still waiting for drivers as they get themselves from the celebrations. Ty Quilla is the one who wins by 9 1/1000ths over Kyle Clenworth. Ron Borden Jr., huge shout out to him. Welcome to the 3000 iRacing Club, Ron Borden Jr. He's third with Alistair Kahn as the only lead lappers here today. Jacob Reed finishes a lap down with Thomas Van Kirk. Jarrett Curry is 2 down with Smith, Niemen, and Harker among some of the final survivors.
And the final part of the standings with Fabian Jurowski will had a hand in that ending of race with his crash with Kevin Burrell, finishing 11th in front of Anthony Divray, Ricky Paz and Christian Hildegard with, well, from top 2 to 30th and 14th with that very hard battle at the end. Noah Gill, a regular in the International IndyCar League, will finish in 15th in front of Volker Ulrich, and Kevin Burrell will finish dead last.
That's what we talked about with the runner here today in this one. Your race winner already standing on by to talk things over. Ty Quilla gets the job done. Your first win of the season, Ty, when it comes to the standings here. So first things first, talk us through how tight and emotional that was with you and your teammate, drag racing back and forth to determine the win.
Let me just start by saying that was a blast to even be there at the end. I'm sure you guys touched on it already, but we were way back, and to be fighting with Kyle for a podium there, that deserved a lot of luck, and luckily Jarrett was able to pull me forward. He had a really fast set today and was able to wheel it. I had the same set, but he was faster on it. So shout out to him for helping pull us through. And I cannot believe it. I truly can't. I don't know how I was able to pull that off.
Yeah, an absolute stunning race, to say the very least. And how difficult was it in the first place to get this track position? Because you were amongst those originally in the second pack that had lost 4 seconds in the first fuel run.
Yeah, being back there, I tried to get by as fast as possible. And then, yeah, there wasn't much I could do there once we had lost them. And that's where Jarrett, helping pull us around, really pulled through for me. I thought the race was over. I was praying for a caution the entire race. And luckily we had gotten there before we got the caution. So just an absolute battle today, starting from the back. I think that was an official, maybe worst to first. So what a race. A lot of luck by some crashes, though, too. So there was some fast drivers who got taken out by speeding and whatnot. So just right place, right time.
You're absolutely right, by the way, from last to first, since you were the only driver not to put up a qualifying lap here today. So that being said, this puts you in the conversation not just for the Euro SOF championship points, but obviously you're in the top 10 for the overall title for this series. This going to help you get even higher here. Your thoughts on that perspective here as you're battling with the Cale Brashears and Adam Blockers and Logan Edwards and whatnot on the season now?
Yeah, let's just say I'm happy I'm in Division 2, so that championship's a little easier to get. To be able to compete with. Yes. I do want overall all number 1 seed, though, but there's a lot of talent to get through to get there, so... yeah, it's just an honor to be competing with a lot of these people. Obviously being open setup, I get a lot of help, so it's nice to be able to put these setups to good use for our alliance. And just shout out to them for the work. We were able to put a set on that was fast enough to get a win today. So, and I won 2 at that. So, huge shout out to Jesper for the work he did today, and Jarrett and Kyle for making some tweaks last minute. Yeah, I definitely want to be competing for that first spot, but we're gonna have to put in some more work on the roadside to really give that an opportunity, which we're working on. And I don't know if it'll happen this season. It might be a next season thing, but hoping to put some better results and maybe get some more top 10s on the roadside stuff.
Indeed. So on that, you already gave some of the shout outs. Anything else you want to mention before I let you go?
I just want to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast today. Justin, Julien, Sébastien, appreciate you guys putting on a good show for us. I know we all appreciate it as a community here. It's always fun to go watch these back, so thanks for all you do for us. Shout out to the Alliance again. Shout out to those boys. Shout out to Kyle for the P2 and the photo finish. 0.009 there, so that was fun. Shout out to Jarrett once again for putting me in that position, and yeah, just shout out to the community. Good race today.
Congratulations once again on the win today. Takuya.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Takuya coming away with the strong run. His teammate was Kyle Clenworth. Clendy is caught up with Sébastien.
Well, Clendy, this is Sébastien Kin at the commentary booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, I do. Sébastien, how are you?
Well, I'm doing fantastic. It's kind of weird interviewing you as we usually share the track on Saturdays on VOR, but talk to me about this race, because first it didn't look very good. You and your team were kind of the back of the race, and you managed to turn the scales. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so we built this setup 30 minutes before the race started, and we didn't have a qualifying setup. So we did some practice just like with 3 cars together, and we felt like we could maybe hang with quicker cars. And, the Votive/Entente cars were really fast. I know Ricky had a lot of pace, and the Nexus cars were really fast. We could hang with them in the draft, but I don't think if all of them had had an uncontested clean race, we would have been 4th or 5th, right? I was able to pick my way through the pack just at the beginning, just because basically all the stars aligned. I was able to hop from one car to the next all the way through the pack, and Jarrett and Ty were not as lucky, and they soldiered on and stuck it through and gutted it out to get back to the front of the pack. And I was really happy to even share maybe a possible top 5 with them. And then, just one after another, all the other key players started having issues, and it just fell into the lap of me and Ty, and we did what we could to lock out the 1-2.
Yeah, because it looked like this is what you were doing in those final few laps. You were just locking those bottom 2 lanes so that no other car behind could try anything funny behind you.
Exactement, mon ami. That was the plan. Take the bottom 2 lanes and make them pass us on the long side.
By the way, that mon ami was absolutely perfect. Well, I guess that would be it. I mean, you're having a very good day in your championship. Because Justin actually talked about it, you're, I think, Division 8 or 7. Is that am I correct?
Yeah, my road rating is like 2K, so I'm nowhere near the top of the. I mean, I'll probably maybe podium the series standings just running ovals, because I haven't run a single road course this season, and I don't think I plan to.
Well, I mean, still ovals with how good you are, you probably get a top 3. Anyway, any shoutouts on your way out?
Yeah, I just owe all of this to Jesper Dahlgren. He gave us the baseline that we tinkered on, and without his efforts today, me, Ty, and Jarrett would not have been anywhere near the front of the pack on race pace. Qualifying, obviously, we were left to our own devices and couldn't figure it out. That's why we started, 3rd to last, 2nd to last, and last. And of course, shout out to Ty doing the worst to first. Shout out to everybody who supports the channel, who watches the Votive Racing League, who is my primary sponsor, and to advance.gg, where you can check out and get energy drink supplements for your water. And it's a promo code you can use there is CLENDYCENDY with a capital K and a capital S. You'll get 10% off your order, and a little bit of that comes back to me. So thanks to everyone who puts this on. Julien, I know, does a lot of work. Seb, good to hear your voice, and I know you got someone else to interview, so I'll get out of your hair.
Well, thank you, Clendy, and see you probably in 2 weeks, if there's another in 2 weeks.
Adieu, sama.
So once again, I'd like to give a shout out to the top 2 for taking the time to speak with us during post-race coverage here today, here on VOR. As what a race, Sébastien, here today. Ron Borden Jr. not here at the moment, so we hope to hear from him in the future, because if he does this again, well, he can definitely put himself in the conversation for his championship. That being said, your thoughts on today?
Yeah, I mean, and kind of, the first parts, the first like 2/3, it was kind of like, I hate to say boring, but like it was just a standard. Everyone stayed single file and just stay very calm and collected. I mean, these guys are very good at what they were doing. But when they were getting a bit cheeky and trying to do some overtaking, this is where it got blown out of proportion. We can see you can use like the 2 bottom lanes to make some passes. We saw some very, very tough battle between Hildegard and Paz. So overall, for the end, that was very entertaining.
Definitely seemed to be, absolutely. So with that being said here, it's going to get interesting from here on out how a lot of this now fares out for the drivers. Again, keep an eye one more time on how things finished up here. It came down to a drag race to decide your winner today. You had to be smart if you wanted to get the job done here in Nashville. So on that note, as we follow along and finish things up here today, I'd like to thank you for tuning in for tonight's coverage of the IndyCar Open Series Euro SOF, brought to you by Velocity Online Racing for the iRacing IndyCar community. Please consider supporting our fundraiser and donate on GoFundMe. If you enjoyed today's coverage, please press the like and subscribe buttons as well to help us in the algorithm. Next week, as you see here, we are going to be at Virginia. It's VIR that's the host of the next race. That will be on July the 21st. Be sure to keep an eye on the action, as we'll have an interesting road course race at a track we normally do not see the IndyCars race on. On that note, it's time to say goodbye for today's coverage. Once again, shout out to everyone who watched today's action and cheered on the finish. Shout out to our track cameras provided by TrackCams22.com, onboard cameras by Julien and Altena, as well as our broadcast production by Julien and Altena. But for Sébastien Kinder, I'm Justin Prince saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We hope you enjoyed today's coverage of IndyCar Open Series competition. We'll see you next time out. We go racing from Virginia.